Another episode of Random Guy Art Night. This is a pop-up live, and tonight on the 999 ASMR Tarot, ASMR Visual Textures, that's what we're going to be doing. And so what we're going to be doing in this practice painting is this. I'm going to try and do a representation of this photograph taken at Canon Beach, Oregon. It was taken by moistblessing, a Redditor on Reddit, and this was posted on the subreddit Oregon on 8/31/2024. And so this is just a bad black and white representation, but the values of the colors are, this here is a sort of a pinkish color. This is a white with a tad bit of yellow. And the rest of this is sort of various shades of blue with a little bit of red in it. And these are that color. They're black. And so we're going to attempt to do a representation of this photo. That's the reference photo. So I'm going to start by just sort of tracing, putting a rough shape, because this piece of paper is roughly the same size as this photo area. So I'm going to try and roughly put in these things. So where the horizon line is kind of roughly, so the water kind of is just a small area here. And so roughly we got a, I'm going to put it kind of in here is where the horizon line is, and we have a shape here of a rock. And then I think I'm going to minus some of the other ones out. I might add them in later. I'm going to come over here and it's kind of a roughly kind of just put in just sort of a rough shape. I'm going to put in the sky first. Kind of a shape like that. Looks like it's coming over here like this. And then we have this rock here. Looks like it's about taller. Welcome, Soup the Monkey. Welcome. We're just trying some photo practice here. This is using a reference photo to create a painting. A practice painting. I think that looks roughly like what it is there. And kind of, this is kind of like that, around like that. Welcome, Speaker Man. Welcome, Zom13. Maybe I'm going to do great. I know I'm usually not very great with shapes, but we're going to give it a good go. And the colors we're going to be using in this painting are lots of blue, a little bit of fluorescent magenta, lots of titanium white, a little bit of yellow. Welcome, Green, Jessica Green. Welcome, Castillo. Welcome. The one and only Griffin. Welcome. And so I'm going to start mixing down some paints. I think I'm going to use this brush here to mix some of these paints. And so we're going to start in making this the blue of the sky. The blue of the sky. Damon, Alex, welcome. If you like what you see, make sure you push the like button. I'm going to put a little bit of fluorescent blue in this. And just a tad bit of this fluorescent magenta. And this, I think, was what the color of the sky was. A little bit more. kind of this purpley color, a little bit more in here. And so we got some, what happened to my reference photograph? It just vanished. Oh, here it is. I'm thinking, oh my God, do I got a ghost in the house? Nah, I'm not an artist. I'm just some random guy doing stuff with a paintbrush tonight. Just a random guy on the internet. Something like that. That's gonna do a rough color blocking in here. The value of it closer to the horizon is more like this. We're gonna bring it all the way across. All the way across. Because we really want that sense of the light, what light there is leaking out from behind. And there is this zone here, and that is this sort of this color of a yellowy color. And I'm going to move on to a different kind of style of brush. This here is a watercolor brush, but we're dealing with acrylics here. And it does need a lot more of this color in there because it's kind of close to dark. The sun has set and there is a bit of bleed over in this area. There is a bunch of red bleed over, but for the most part, the color of the sky is this purpley color here. And in this zone here, it's going to be, and so what we're going to be doing is a bunch of clouds in here that are like this color. And then I'm going to come in and we've got some more clouds that are a little bit lighter that are coming in here that are about like this color, and it's coming all the way across. And then there's more coming down on the horizon line itself. It's even more grayer, but it still has that purpley color right in there. And so there's the water line. And so there we go. We're going to come up here, maybe a little zone over here that's a bit more of the primary blue. A little more of the primary blue. So this video is for if you were watching on the playback, it is for people who need help falling asleep, need a relaxation video, but you may not be here on the old YouTube looking for that sort of video right now. I'm going to just add a little bit of this fluorescent magenta right into the sky, and it sort of brings out some colors. A little more of this fluorescent blue. So we have a lot of different values here. And now I'm going to come in and work on a different structure altogether. I'm going to do part of the sunset, in which I'm going to use this color here. I probably should use that might be just a little bit too brilliant. So I think I'm going to need to come in and bring out just a tad bit of this cadmium red. We're just going to use just the smallest amount that I can. I don't want to use too much because you don't really need too much anyway. So we're going to mix this in here, a lot of white. Mix it down with a lot of white. And I might put just a tad bit of this primary yellow in it, just to give it a slight orangey color. Just a slight orangey color. because right now it's a really pinky color, and I'm just gonna pull that out over here with this brush, and just move it over here. Because you've seen that in the skies, haven't you? That need a lot of water here. Has this sort of this pinkish orange color, and that's kind of the color in the reference photo that I got on Reddit. That's where that's kind of what the color was like. And we're just going to I need to test it out. I need a piece of paper. Where does my paper always disappear to? I guess we'll just use this one here. So just to test it out to see what that color is. Maybe I want to tune it up with just a little bit, with a bit more titanium white. And so we're looking at it, it's getting better. And maybe I want to add just a little bit of this fluorescent blue to it. Now that's going to make it kind of greenish color, but let's just take a look here. Yeah, it works, actually. I'm going to add some more titanium white. And okay, I like that. That's kind of the color that I saw in the reference photo. I'm going to put this in here, kind of in this zone here like that. And I'm going to bring more of that color, kind of bringing it all the way across the sky, and then in some different zones here. It's not exactly like this, but it's close enough. Maybe come in and take a little bit more of this fluorescent magenta, and we're going to just put this right in there, just for an artist's representation, to make it just a tad bit more brilliant. Mix in some titanium white right on the spot. Mix it down, gets it more of a pinkish color. Kind of this stratification of the clouds, kind of coming up here like this. Kind of bring it over here, and we'll come back in and put that rock in place. Maybe some of this brilliant red. It's not exactly the same, but it's just a practice painting. And so what matters is that we're creating an emotion, we're creating an experience. And that's why it just differs from the realism that you may possibly see in nature. I'm going to add some more of this water and pull out just that. All right, now I'm going to come back over it, and I'm going to bring in some more titanium white over the top. Blending these colors together. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to let that stuff set and dry just a tad bit. And we're going to work on other parts of the sky. I think I'm going to block in the rest of this painting. And what the sand color is. The Sand People. I need to watch that movie, some more Star Wars. And so I'm going to be building the sand. And I think what I kind of want, I think I'm going to use is this. It's going to make it a greenish tone. Over here. And that's probably all the yellow we're going to use. And I'm going to add a whole bunch more of this blue. So it's going to just darken it up a lot. I know it's green. We're going to add some red. The red will just brown it down. You know what? I'm just going to add all of this red over here. It's going to brown it on down. A bit more of this titanium white. I know that you've never seen sand this color before, and that's okay. Because sometimes you just gotta play with what's in your imagination. 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 Because that's where we are at. Let's take a little bit of this carbon black and add it in. Over here, I'm going to darken that down. Kind of a grayish color. Bit more of this yellow to tone it down. All right. Let's see how that goes. Can I use that as a sand color? Maybe. Maybe. Let's add some more titanium white. Maybe. 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 I think a little bit more black, though. Not quite satisfied with it. Trying to remember what it was in the reference photo. The color was just sort of a really gray. In the reference photo, the color was really kind of gray. And, of course, this is a... There isn't very much ocean. The ocean is just a really thin, and it's still about the same color. So I'm going to do a couple different values of this. I'm going to start dark and then come in light. So this is the lighter color. I'm going to run in here. I'm going to block it in. So the ocean line is roughly about here. I'm going to put this in here, but we're going to just come in and take this titanium white and we're going to mix it right on there. It's okay that it's kind of a greenish color because it's actually right around close to dark. And close to dark, the colors don't always look like what you think they're going to look like. So this is nighttime sand. Sun has already gone down over the horizon. It's a practice painting. It's going to look like crap. Oh, sorry. I said a bad word here. And it's kind of a dark greenish color. I already ruined the painting. I already ruined it. Random guy, your painting skills suck. All this sucky painting skills. All right. Just a dark color. I can salvage it by putting in, but just let that dry, and we'll try something else. Just let that dry up. I'm going to put another layer on top of it to get it to do something else. This was an ill-conceived idea, I can see already. Hopefully, the evening painting session at 11:11 won't suck too. All right, now this zone was white mixed with just a tad bit of yellow, but I'm using a fluorescent yellow here just to give it a nice sort of a creamy color. If you're new, just popping in here, there are these YouTube things that all YouTubers want. I'm trying to actually reach 800 subs by the end of tonight. I know it's probably a huge pipe dream to think about that, but we're going to be putting this color in here. This is actually what the color looked like in that photo. I actually have it on as a thumbnail. I did enhance the photo from what the original one was. Be careful to not put too much water into it because I don't want the sky to turn green. Just put a lot more. This brush is not working out. It is not working out at all. Though at 11:11 tonight, I'm going to be coming on and painting the paper mache creations I made last night at 11:11 p.m. I think I was on for 2 hours. This one is just a pop-up live. There's this lady, Tropical Impress Tarot. She's got a new channel, and she's been doing these marathon live sessions. She was on for like 7 hours the other night last weekend. Just amazing. Makes me kind of wish that I could go on for 7 hours. But I have a hard time sitting beyond 2 hours, so I just don't see that that's going to be possible. So here we go. This kind of looks pretty good up there in the sky. It's making a band of this band of color here. This makes me want to come back in over here and do some different building up of some things. It's like this color just needs to be a bit more translucent, and I'm going to take some gel medium and I'm going to make a more translucent color to go in on top of it. I'm going in over here. I'm going to make this color, and coming in with this mixed with a lot. I need to add some more white to it. I'm just kind of coming in here. There we go. Still has some streaks of that former red that were there. Just going to bring it across and bring it across. I like this now. Feeling more satisfied with this. I'm rapidly coming up on my 24 months on this channel and approaching 800 subs. For the first 6 months, I was sitting at a good 19. I suppose my content still sucks like it did back then. Yep. And that water has bands of... So now I think I'm going to go in and just... I really feel like I need to do something else here. Like, I need to get my hair dryer out and start drying the surface here. Like, we'd like to get this thing done in less than 30 minutes because I need to recharge my lights up and get ready for the 11/11 show. And so we have to think of where were those haystacks. But you know what? We can go and do some more of this purpley color. I'm going to probably put that in over the sand too. I'm going to pull it over here. This darker right across here. A blending of these two realities. Maybe some white in here to blend it on down. It's kind of grayish color. Kind of like that. There we go. It's just like a different layer. And we're going to come in up on the top. And though this wasn't in the reference photo, we're going to add in just some thin clouds coming up on the top, just to add some depth to the sky. I can't use a palette knife like Bob Ross can, but I can use a brush and make similar effects. I'm going to just kind of bring this stuff down. It's going to streak it in here. Give it a good a little bit more depth and see how that works. Now the water was in here. Maybe just a little bit more coming down in here like this. Okay. We'll go back in and add the ocean water. But I think I'm going to go back in over the sand and add some of that violet color over the sand. Just to darken things up, to liven things up, and make things look less green. And over here, we have this here. Got this color here. It's kind of a darker, a little bit more primary cyan, a little bit more of this color, a little more primary cyan. Put a tad bit of water. Let's test it to see what color it is. Let's see how it looks over that. I think it'll blend up kind of nicely. And so, just going to bring it in here. Like that. Look how nice that looks. Just take some of this titanium white. We'll just kind of blend right on top of it here. So the water kind of coming in there, maybe. Just kind of putting it all down in here. Doing back-to-backs kind of reminds me of the days when I was bartending. I used to drink. And having a back-to-back drink. That was in Heineken's were on sale. Heineken's and was on sale for like $3 a bottle, and so was those porters, and the old Heineken. What is this? What is this spider doing on my page? Okay, so we have these haystack rocks in here. I'm gonna just go in and roughly use this black to get the lines. Down in Canon Beach, it has all these rocks that, and when we're in the sun set like this, everything is silhouetted and you can't really see any detail out there. And the detail has all been sort of just, there's not enough light to see this detail at close to dark. Maybe we'll add a little white to it, gray it out a bit. Just a haystack rock. Canon Beach, Oregon. It's not too far from where I live, too. I mean, it's about like a 90-minute drive north. It's not quite 100 miles, but I haven't been to Canon Beach in years, actually. Usually just go to Seaside, where I have relatives that live. Or go to Pacific City, but I haven't been to Pacific City in 2 years. And so I'm going to just use my finger. Oh, shit, I just rubbed the paint off. Use my finger here to try to rough this in, get the brush strokes out of it, make some semblance of a rock in the sea sort of a shape. But I need a more definite line out here. I should probably just use a Sharpie. Sharpie would kind of give me that color. I'm going to Pacific City. Or you go to Lincoln City and then you end up at Schnuckwin's Casino and go play slot machines. I haven't been to Schnuckwin's since 2021. Or any casino for that matter. It's taken me a couple years to lose the desire to play slot machines. We got a little rock out here, kind of far away out here. Another kind of a rock. Just a rock and time and space. Maybe we want to add a little of this blue in it to gray it down. We'll just put some blue in just directly right on here. And we'll mix those colors right on the canvas to get it to mix down. What I liked playing was Keno slots. Now every time since Keno slot machine play is not in my budget, so when I do get this hankering to want to play slot machines, I go and watch quick Hundy slots. This looks more like a teardrop than a haystack rock out in the sea. It has to have some more structures like this. Then we got this other one that's like really big out here. Looks like a big barn shaped thing. Quick Hundy slots, that's a fun channel. Kind of comes around here. Thinks this is big as a pyramid. Comes over there. And this is why you need to put the sky in first. You can pencil these shapes in and block them where you think they should be. But the sky goes in first. Then usually the water, but this is kind of right on the horizon line just a little bit. The water comes up just above. Natural beauty of the world. Thank you. So this is the reference photo that I'm working off of. The values of the colors are kind of what I have on here. I found the photo on a subreddit, Oregon, an Oregon subreddit. I live in Oregon, and I follow stuff that goes on in Oregon. And so we're just building this thing. I'm going to put more blue in, and then I'm going to go back in over the blue and add some carbon black. And this painting was taken essentially right after dark. It's just right after the sun has already gone down beyond, I think, gone down on the horizon. That's what it looked like from the photo, but but there was this band of this yellow up here, so maybe it suggested that the sun hadn't gone down yet, and maybe the sun was over here someplace. But I couldn't, so I just don't know, because there was this big band of this deep orangey red pinkish color that was right here in this white, creamy white, yellowish color that was up here. And then everything else was kind of different shades of purple. And so we're just kind of, these haystack rocks were just completely, there was no definition of them at all. So I think that actually means that that sun was kind of up off the horizon, but out of the picture because you couldn't see anything. So for instance, I have this reference photo from a sunset that I took in Hawaii on Waikiki, and you see these folks are silhouetted by that sun. That sun is 10 minutes from coming down. That's about the 10-minute mark, maybe 5-minute mark from just going down below the horizon. So everything is silhouetted, and so you don't necessarily need to add any definition because you can't see any depth in these figures here. You can tell that she has red hair because of the way the reddish blonde hair, the way that the sun is ripping through her hair. But and then this lady, you can't really see hardly any depth at all, and so forth. So you get a lot of grace when you are painting sunsets with that sun just right on the horizon line, because you don't necessarily have to put any depth at all in your shapes that you are painting. But I'm just adding these different layers of color just because it just will make everything look better when you have, I'm going to be adding that black on top of it, and I probably will come in and smudge this down with my finger just to get a better shape. It's gonna, of course, rub a lot of the paint off, but it'll kind of fudge it down here when I go in and put that water line in. So that's all right. It's not perfect like that, but now I'm just gonna come back in with the black. I'm gonna add that black in. A little more water here. And darken those colors up and just kind of bring it right up to the edge. And try to get a really crisp edge there. You know, it's just taken me years to be able to do this. I'd be watching tutorials and they say, just add more water. You want a crisp line, just add more water. Also, the type of brush you use completely matters. Then you have the shape of the lines and everything. By using that blue down there, because there's so much blue in the sky, you have this wraparound effect of seeing just a tad bit of the blue coming around around that rock. And yeah, that's not going to work. It'll work better in a different kind of a canvas situation. But we're adding this kind of a side strokes to make it a bigger thing. Trying to add just the hints that there's shape out there. I need to take out these brush strokes. That's where the finger comes in. Use that finger to come around on here to scrape down the color just a bit and to bring out, kind of take out those brush strokes a bit. I've seen people use things like credit cards and things like that, but maybe we'll just, yeah, actually that's just scraping the paint off. That's not going to work in this case at all. So here it is. I just ruined my painting already, but it's all right. I didn't quite ruin it yet. I just partially ruined it. Take this on here. We'll move it back down on there. There's different colors. Different colors there. And kind of like that blue right on that too. Add some just add some variation to it. Here we go. Art for Justice, welcome. Art for Women Empowerment, welcome. Welcome, Amish. Can't pronounce your name, I'm sorry. Welcome. Welcome to Random Guy Art Night. I'm just some random guy on YouTube trying to do something with paint and a brush and all that crap tonight on August 31st. Practically the last day of summer. "47 minutes into the painting. Let's see if I can get done in 13 minutes, huh? I don't think I can, but come bring this out like that. So the rock that's clear over there in the distance. Back in there, it seems like there's a mist rising off the water. Put that blue down on it to just give it a different value, like it's way over there. All right. I'm going to stand up for a second because my body hurts. I'm an old person. And also to get a little bit of a perspective. Actually, from here, it looks not bad because it looks like the rocks are just like ghosts coming out of this whiteness, out of this mist. You know, actually it looks better on the screen than it does in front of me here. I do have a trick up my sleeve for making some of this stuff look better. We're gonna go in and put in and make ocean water. Oh, that just reminds me. I could do that. I know that art for equity guy is still not here. You can just take a little whoopee putty break here. And see, this is for equity. For equity. For justice. For equity. For justice. And this is just for some random guy being silly tonight on YouTube. You know, it is kind of an ASMR-like thing. I don't know. You know, old people can play with toys too. I know this looks like, you know, they make this for kids. So kids are supposed to stick their fingers in here. This is a kid's toy. So that was that guy. I don't know if you're still there, Amesh, but that was for you. Okay. Now I need to make the ocean water here. I think it was still more of this color here, a bit darker, more of these purpley colors. It might have a little bit of this green in it too, I think. I think it does have some of that tone in it too. But I'm going to want to thin that down. It begins again. Yeah, it begins again, don't it? I'm going to add this gel medium in here. And I want to thin that color down. It's got a lot of different colors in here. I've got to think about what happens. Needs more of this. I think that'll work. I'm going to start with that lower value. And so some of this water has this in it. So kind of going to build, there's not very much water in this picture. I'm going to come in here, put more white in, and I don't think I want to put any yellow. If I do, I'll put yellow highlights on the top. You can't really see too much as far as waves. I am a old school visual textures ASMR channel, yes. But I'm not a whispers or a clicks and pops and mouth noise channel. I do not do those mouth noises. I don't exactly have the right sound equipment to do that. Sophia, welcome. So I do a lot of now when I do these lives, I tend to be really chatty, and if people are here in the chat talking, and I will have a conversation with people. But no, I'm not like some of those some of those people who got like 1 million subs and who do just you know what I'm saying, the mouth noises. I don't do mouth noises. I'm coming in here, gonna bring up a darker color back in the horizons. So to Sigmar Rule 2000, I have in my long play videos, I have a few tarot role play videos. The one with the crystal ball is one such like that. It's using a glass ball like this. You're such a little Rizzler. Tarot is a it's a divination tool, or it is a 14th century game played by royal classes, and then eventually the tarot got morphed into this, and what you play blackjack and poker with came directly out of, I'll show you, came directly out, where is it? It came directly out of this. So this here, Tarot de Marseille, came out of an Italian game called Tarocchi, and this is the French version. And so it has cards that look, suit cards that look like this, and it's sort of a game. I don't know the rules of the game, but I'm sure that it might be kind of more like bridge, or like pinochle or bridge, or some kind of or maybe even like you might play with cribbage. So, but then in the 20th century, the 19th century, 18th, 19th century, it started to become a tool of the groups like the Rosicrucians, which were a Christian mystic group that practiced alchemy, and they also practice cabal, cabal of Jewish mysticism. So there are these mystical societies. They started arising probably in the age of the Enlightenment, and that's like the 14th and the 1500s, and they started coming into existence around those times. And they were secret societies because they were secret from the church. Because if you were, alchemy is kind of like the study of magic, but it's more of a science, and so it's like the predecessor to more modern day science of like, so let's say Da Vinci was a student of alchemy, but and stuff like that. So you have, so these secret society groups, they started using the tarot not for divination, but for to track their spiritual development. And so it was a spiritual practice of but then in our century, tarot is more of, so in our century, tarot is more used as a practice to like try to divine the future or do stuff like that. But there's still a lot of people who still use it in the other way as a spiritual meditation, or to use it like, okay, this is a way that you might use tarot. And have you ever like gone to it like your journal and because I'm a guy, and I, more often than not, I haven't the faintest clue what I am feeling. Because, as men are often out of touch with their own emotions and their own feelings. And so I would start with my journal. I would go into mass, and because I'm a Catholic, and I would go to mass, and I sit there with my journal, and I'd write, what do I feel? What do I feel? And then eventually I would start writing. And so you could use the tarot exactly the same way, because most all of the cards are sort of an archetypal representation for human emotions. And so you could use the tarot almost exactly the same way in trying to figure out what it is that you're feeling. So every single card in the tarot deck is true to the human experience in any given point in time. And actually, probably every single card pulled randomly is true to you in that moment, and you can figure out that it is. So you can use tarot as a means to try to figure out what you're feeling. So that's one way that you could use the tarot. Now, or other people would want to know. Ask the question: my girlfriend left me, and is she going to come back? And then you ask the tarot this question, and then it says no, she's not coming back. And maybe you might try to use it to divine the future, but I don't know that you can really, myself personally, because I run on this on more on the esoteric side. I'm not so sure you can predict the future. But that's just me. Maybe maybe I'll change my mind about that someday. But at this point in my life, I don't necessarily believe that. I don't believe that. So I think the ocean kind of looks okay. It's starting to look so. It might need a little red in there, I think. But I'm going to add just some more of this layers of these colors in here. And I need to go. Do I have any more of that gel medium? It needs more of this gel medium. So I don't know if that really explains it. It probably doesn't explain anything else, but the origin of tarot came out of a game that people played. Usually they played it in the back of churches. Yeah, well, I know what it says in the Bible. But there's a lot of people who look into the Bible looking for the future. There's that whole Bible code thing. And then you got people looking into Revelations, looking at to see what the future is. And so, but the church also is really dead set against anybody who has any other ideas. And so in the early church, there were multiple orthodoxies. It wasn't just one orthodoxies. It was a lot. There was and the lockdown on knowledge happened after Constantine converted, and then the next emperor of Rome made Christianity the official religion, and that's the point in time when we started getting more people, non-Christians, started getting killed for their faith, or non-Christians, and that would be being Jewish people and other folks. And so now in this world we're looking at, now if you want to go and look at, let's say, well, what sin is, yeah, I don't know. you know what? If I'm going to hell, then so be it. That's the way I look at it. But I'm trying to live my best life as possible. And so we're going to bring in the reference photo, the ocean line doesn't come up as far as I bring in it, but I'm bringing the ocean farther up, and we're going to see if we can add some textural variations to this so that it might look like there is just a few waves, because now I've brought it up much closer in, and but anyways, there we go. I'm going to bring in that color in there. It kind of brings in just a little, it's in the sky, adding that color into the sky. Just some variations. All right. Just some variations back here. I think it's starting to take some shape. I need some more of that gel medium. More gel medium. This is in this particular painting, this is my savior for getting it to come into some kind of a shape. I'm going to bring it up here. Just kind of, it liquefies and shines up that surface, and so get that variation in there. If I can come back, I'm going to come back in with some more titanium white, and we're going to just sort of bring this in here like this. I'm not going to put those posts in place there. Mixed in with this, so to have just a sense that there's the ocean coming up. Bringing some white caps up here. Kind of bring it in here. Looks like it's just wet sand here. All these different colors. I think this is almost done. What do you think? I feel like I need to bring in some of this color here on down into here. And it really looks like these rocks are far closer in than they are. So that's unfortunate. But I guess that's not so bad. And I think I know what I need to do. And we are... I need to dry this up. Uh-oh. Hit the camera again. It's funny. Everybody's trying to see into the future to see where the end is going. Let's see if we. That's. Sometimes we got to do this. I'm not going to use this brush, but we're going to come up. I need to add some of this light into this. And do we have any of that left? Mm. 9. It is 10. 10:20 now. I need to wrap this thing up real soon here. We're going to add in a little of this gel medium and put in this fluorescent yellow right into it. Let me just do a tester to see how it looks. Okay. We're going to put in just some highlights over here. Over here, some highlights. Maybe over here. Just adding that right onto the surface. Gel medium allows me to just put it right on the surface there. Some other zones in here. It does make it a little bit green, but that's because I didn't dry the surface of it too much. There's kind of a mistiness over here. Actually, this looks like there's kind of a mistiness over here. And then we're going to come in with just a little bit of black and maybe finish this photo, this picture up here. A little bit of zones over here. There. Got some, but I think we also need to take some of this color here and add it into the ocean as well. I got a little bit, do I have any here? Just to get some zones in here. We'll reflect it up about here. It's different. Kind of make sure you put the sky in. Sky has to come in to the water as well. And it looks like the sun is over here. So I need to add a little bit of more shadowy water in. So maybe just in a few other zones out here. Just some different texture, different colors. And here we go. Boy. And so I'm going to come back in with some of the carbon black. We're going to add in that kind of just in here just a bit. And add that right onto the water, some darkness, some of the shadows. Just add some shadows in. Maybe we're going to run this right onto right at the surface. It's more water. Let's come up here. I'm going to take this and run it at the horizon line. There. Kind of over here. And I need to blend that a little bit. I need my blender brush, and to make sure it doesn't, I need to use a different blender brush. Use this as to blend it here. It's not perfect. It's not perfect, but we're trying the best that we can here. I'm going to bring that in here. It's these darker zones. There, long shadows. And over here too. It's this sense of, has a sense of a shadow here. And that it kind of starting to come alive. Over here, because I brought this in here way closer than it actually is, I'm going to bring it kind of around like that. And there we go. It's good enough. I'm going to go back in and take some of this stuff, bringing that in. This fluorescent magenta, and just blending that down on here. The different colors, different textures. I want to make sure we just don't overdo it. Maybe a little white. A little white too. All these feelings and emotions that are in the sky. I need to work on not letting the trolls get the better of me. I feel okay, I gotta get this worked on. So, I think this is just about done. But in the reference photo, there were some pieces of driftwood shoved into the ground. And I think I can put some of those in there. They would be coming in from this vantage point. They would be coming up here. But I don't think I'm going to put them in there at all. What do you think? Maybe I'll put one of them in. No, it looks like there's another rock right behind here. Just a faint one there in the distance. Another haystack over there. Part of another rock. Way in the way back. We want to not make it so black, so it's more gray. There. Add a little bit of this white to gray it down. It's out there. Coming up there. It's back over there. Yeah, I think that's about not bad. I might want to just add some black in here, just a little bit. So then I'm going to come back in. What was this? We'll use this blender brush. We'll blend it in. Hopefully I didn't just destroy everything here. Anyways, that was probably a mistake. Well, we can fix that mistake by taking some titanium white, and we're going to put this in here like this and kind of blend it down to the horizon, that line. There's some more of that gel medium here. Right down to the horizon. Fixing the sins of painting. Making some stratifications in here. I think that's about done. What do you think? Canon Beach. Rocks at Canon Beach. I'm going to put my initials over here. 24. Okay. Smash this down a bit. Come on. Oh, that's why. That's why it's not. Oh, no! Put paint on my Jesus. Alright. I'm just gonna, because this is Tarot Channel 2, I'm gonna draw a card. See what kind of energy it was today. It was Chariot. We're just kind of forging forward. We're on a stone block, forging forward. That's what this means. The Chariot card is a chariot that is just, it's an unmovable block of stone, and the whole world just whizzes by. Maybe you are whizzing in it, but you're stationary and everything goes by you. But you just kind of, I guess that's probably what is a good representation for what happened here today. Anyways, this is Random Guy Art Night on the 999 ASMR Tarot Visual Textures. These are visual textures, all right. And like and sub if you think this video had any value to it. If not, that's fine. And I'm going to be back at 11 p.m. to work on my paper mache creations that I made the other day. I'm going to paint. I have two. I don't think I'm going to work on this one, but I'm going to do some painting. And that's it. I'm going to say good night and thank you for tuning in. And have a great, blessed night. Bye-bye.